Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Mackenzie Nancarrow. Welcome to my home in beautiful Santa Barbara, California. Come on in.
This summer, spend the hottest months of the year in style with Homeworthy as we visit the most extraordinary homes around the world. From the sun-soaked shores of the Hamptons to the classic beachfronts of Nantucket to the vibrant courtyards of Morocco, be sure to subscribe to Homeworthy's summer series to make every day feel like a vacation. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Nancarrow and I'm a floral designer. We're in my home in Santa Barbara, California. My family and I decided on this home because of the bones of the house. It was exactly what we were looking for, and it's really close to the beach. We love going to the beach, and my husband is actually a really big surfer. The only thing that was missing from this house was adding a touch of Mackenzie. And now I look at everything around and it's just exactly what I always dreamed of. When we first bought this house, it was totally just a 2000 home. It was nothing, I felt like nothing really stood out in the house. So my husband and I decided to redo the bathrooms, the kitchen, and just put a modern flair. We live in a sense of simplicity. We like green and we like modern. We wanted it to be sleek and easy and chic. And I feel like it was really effortless. When we decided to decorate this house, we wanted to go with a minimalistic feel. I thought that that was the best thing for our family. As you can see, there's a ton of trees and plants and flowers around the house, and I really feel like that gives livelihood to the house. As you can probably tell, green is one of my and my husband's favorite colors, so you'll see it playing into a lot of different areas in my home. And as you can see behind me, the pillows, I just feel like green really evokes life and it tells a story. And that's what I want someone to feel when they come into my home. I want them to feel alive. I want them to feel the warmth of what's around them. Welcome to my house. This is the sitting area. I'm obsessed with this burnt orange. These are actually from Crate and Barrel. They're swivels, absolutely love. I'm obsessed with orchids, as you can see. And this is one of my favorite artists, a Santa Barbara artist, Karin. And as you can see, these amazing pieces really light up the room. So a favorite color in my house is blue. And if you ask my son what his favorite color is, it's blue. So my husband and I found this on Crate and Barrel and we absolutely loved it. We felt like it was perfect. We centered this room with this amazing coffee table. This is from Crate and Barrel as well. This whole room truly is Crate and Barrel. This little lamp also is from Crate and Barrel. I feel like it really accentuates the room and adds depth, which I love. If we come over here, this piece is an amazing antique that we found at a consignment store in Santa Barbara called the Art of Consignment. It's one of the best stores, and if you're in town, you've got to go. And we accented it with a few of my favorite books, another orchid, and a really cool vase. I thought it was just added some spice. You know, you need that. You need a little accent. Welcome to my living room. Let's go over here. This is actually one of my favorite pieces, and this is by Picasso. It's a Picasso print, and it's his dove print. And I just feel like it gives the room a lot of character. I feel like line paintings are especially interesting, especially when the house is modern and really elegant. This chair right here, you guys, this is one of my favorite chairs. I probably sit here for multiple hours a day and just swivel around. I feel like this chair is one of the better swivels I've ever found. And this is actually from Pottery Barn. I love the little accented pillow. I feel like this gives it just some character. Now this little area, I feel like a house should have moments, and this is a moment that brings me a lot of joy. I feel like in your house, you need to have a lot of moments that spark joy. And this right here sparks joy for me. My son actually loves rocks, so I got this for him. And this stool is just an antique stool that just has so much character to it. When my husband and I bought this house, we decided to retile this and create a more modern, sleek look. And I feel like it turned out amazing. A fiddly fig leaf tree will change the look of your house. So I definitely recommend going to your local nursery and looking for a fiddly fig leaf tree, some pennygrass to really just spice it up. This is a great area for me. This is one of my favorite books by Dani. This is the owner of Rose Story Farms, and her book just is really educational and talks about all the different roses, which I just love. This elephant actually too has a lot of meaning. My husband's dad passed away when he was younger, and an elephant just symbolizes him. So my children actually call this Pop Pops, and whenever they see it, they just absolutely love it. So this is super important to our family. Now this couch, you guys, the color of this couch is just amazing. And truly, it's one of those colors that never gets dirty. I have to give Crate & Barrel a lot of credit here because it truly is the best couch. I take a sponge to it and just everything comes off. And with 2 young children, that's what you need in your life. So these pillows all really caught my eye, and I love velvet. As you can see, this jaguar print is just so cool and interesting, and truly just like, it makes me happy when I look at it. And when I saw this in the store, that's exactly what it did. It just sparked joy. And like I said before, you need to find items for your house that spark joy, because when you walk through your door, that's what's important, is sparking joy within you. What I love most about this room is the openness of it. I love how it flows from living room to dining room to kitchen. It's a great area to connect with my family, and it just brings us all together. From the beginning, my career path started as a stylist. When I was 15, I started working at Pandora Jeweler. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a little charm company. And then it progressed into clothing and being a stylist. And then when I graduated college, I really wanted to focus on what made me happy. And art has always been a huge part of my life. My grandmother was an amazing artist, and she, I feel like, put that in my soul. And so I've always been working with my hands, whether it be with paint or just with clothing. I just have always felt a need to express myself. So when I found flowers in 2018, I really felt like I just found my spot. I felt like flowers showed me how to really see the world, because I feel like we really need to notice what's around us, and seeing the beauty in every day. That's what flowers makes me feel. It makes me feel alive, it makes me feel real, and it really makes me feel present, because flowers are only here for a certain amount of time. There's a lot of different things that made me fall in love with florals. I would say a huge thing that made me fall in love with florals is just the colors of the different flowers, the amount of flowers that are in the world. There's just thousands of varieties, and the combination, using different colors, using different variations and putting them together and creating something that you might not necessarily think goes together, but does go together. And that's what really drew me to florals, because you can really create anything that's in your mind, and that was really special to me. And when my clients get that in their hand, or I create an event or wedding and seeing them bask in my art, there's really nothing more fulfilling than that. Right now we're entering my dining room, and this is an area that we wanted to be really clean and modern. So we found these woven chairs on Crate & Barrel, which are super easy to clean, which is amazing. And this table was just effortless, which I loved. You always have to accent with an orchid. Just saying. Now, when you have a smaller space, and I'm not saying my space is so small, but when you have a smaller space where everything flows, it's really important to just add those little bits of layering. So I layered with some different cutting boards, which accent the stove in a sense. And then I got this really cool pedestal, and it's a great way to accent, you know, your olive oil and salt and peppers. Okay, this is fun, guys. Okay, so these avocados are actually from my parents' ranch, and they'll take a few weeks to ripen, but we always have avocados here. When you're trying to elevate a room, look at the simplicity of the calla lilies in this really cool and modern vessel. Adding something simple like this can just add so much to the room. I love calla lilies. They're effortless. Also, it's really important to just add some other little things. I always have flowers around my house. It's one of those things that I think adds a lot. A great place to find vases is actually Home Goods. Home Goods has a lot of different bowls that are shallow enough to create an arrangement, and it's a great place to start. If you're more of a professional, I really recommend Camilla. Something that I cherish about my space is that it's a place where my family gathers and my family connects, and it's really important to me. And when people walk through the door, I want them to feel at home, and that's what I feel like people feel when they walk through my home. Another cool thing that we have in our kitchen is this amazing Karin Husenholt painting, and it's of a woman on a horse. It's just lovely. This is a really amazing and special piece in our house. This is actually the Nancarrow crest, and what Nancarrow means is Valley of the Deer. This has been in our family for generations, and it's so special that it's hung on our wall. All right, guys, come with me. I'm gonna take you into a really small space. In this space, this powder room gives me so much joy. Come on in. You guys, look at this wallpaper. San Ysidro Ranch is an amazing hotel destination in Montecito, California, and it's a really special place for my husband and I because we actually got married there. They have this wallpaper in their bathroom, so I had to have this wallpaper in my bathroom. All right, you guys saw my first floor. Let's see the second floor. Come with me. As you guys can see, I have a lot of art in my house, and it's really important. All these pieces just mean something so different. This piece is by my husband's dad, Chris Nancarrow, and he loved the tropics. So this watercolor painting is truly amazing. Check it out. Now we're in our primary bedroom. This space is just so cozy and clean. Just what me and my husband wanted it to be. So this dresser, we wanted things to kind of match a little bit. So this dresser is from West Elm. We love the marble top of it, and we accented it with a really beautiful antique vase. I always love to add those flower moments to each room, so the calla lilies really elevate. This painting has been in our family for generations, so we actually reframed it at Michael's, and we just thought the coloring was perfect. You always have to have an orchid in your room. Just saying. Going over here, we had the matching side tables, the lamps. I felt like the black and the white was what we were going for in here. Velvet again. You guys, I'm velvet obsessed, but velvet again. With our bedroom set, we really wanted to keep things light and airy, so we kept with white. We added a little bit of fluff, and with the lumbar, we added a little stripe, but it's the perfect place to come wind down and get ready for your night. This rug plays in with all of the coloring in the bedroom because we stuck neutral, and this rug is actually from Pottery Barn. I love the little accents of green, and I feel like the plants really pull the green out. I love it. All right, guys, I'm gonna take you to my backyard, which is such a sanctuary. This is Ralph. He's our golden retriever and the best dog. We love you, Ralphie. All right, so this is our seating area, and it's a really great place to just sit down. These chairs are so comfortable. We purchased this from West Elm, and it's a great set. Highly recommend it. Whenever I have people over, I love to create an environment where people feel special. And so this arrangement I created was with hydrangea, local lisianthus, and helleborus. I thought it was really special. I accented the green, which is my favorite color, with these amazing cheetah glasses from Hudson Grace. I just love the difference between the cheetah and the green, and I just feel like it looks really great together. It's really complementary against the black. It was really important when we were designing our backyard to really play off the terracotta floor. And so we really thought these black aluminum chairs and couch looked really nice. These are from West Elm, and I got the cushions reupholstered in Oxnard. So if you need his number, holler. This coffee table is perfect. It's actually from Hugh Hayward's outdoor collection in Santa Barbara. But it's a perfect place to connect and sit down and relax. I always love to accent small moments like this. These are Cosmos, and they're locally grown, and they're just perfect. This rug, I feel like, goes so well with the metal and the cushions as well as the cement. And the rug is from West Elm. Cheap. When you're designing your backyard, it's really important to remember that you can take the flower arranging out of a vase and in your backyard. So here, it's all about layering. So we layered the grasses with a myrtle leaf with a ficus. And it truly gives you a lot of privacy, especially when you're in a neighborhood where it's house to house. My husband and I have found that this is truly a sanctuary because of our landscaping. We're gonna make an amazing arrangement today, so let me show you how to do it. We're gonna start with white jasmine. I love white jasmine because I feel like it has a lot of just shape. So always go with the shape. So if the shape is leaning right, go to the right. If the shape is leaning left, go to the left. It's all about layering with floral arrangements. So if it's not looking good in the beginning, you have to give yourself some credit because it will start to look good, I promise you. I've been doing this for years, and the best piece of advice is keep going. Right now, I'm covering the mechanics with the jasmine, and we are just starting that way. Once I'm through with the jasmine, I'm actually gonna go in with this amazing oregano. You wouldn't think this is oregano, but it is. This is flowering oregano. I like to pick flower varieties that are interesting, that have texture, and this is just one of those flowers. Now remember, we're still just covering our mechanics, covering our base. We're not really worried about shape yet, but I always like to do a high and a low moment when we begin to focus on our shape. But right now, we're just going, as I like to say. Just keep going. So with this, I decided to go in with a piece of foam, and then I do hydrate the arrangement afterwards and just fill up the vase. I like to use foam because it just keeps the arrangement in place and it keeps it hydrated when you need it to be hydrated. So that's why I do that. Okay, so since we're done with the oregano, we're actually gonna go in with a different variety of oregano. So instead of your plain eucalyptus, try to get some spice to your life, because look at this. This is a lot spicier. So let's go in. I like these, and I say it's spicier because I just feel like it adds that textural component that makes arrangements interesting. Okay, so now we kind of have our base layer. We're gonna go in with yarrow now. So this is a peach yarrow. I feel like it just is a great component to add. So I'm gonna just add it where I feel like it's needed. And then we're gonna focus on our shape. Always feel free to edit, okay? I'm gonna add a little stalk. All right, now we're gonna go in with these amazing Lysianthus. And these can open up if you just kind of open them a little bit. Now see what we're doing right now? So we don't really have a shape yet, but we're gonna do a V right now. So we're gonna do a high moment over here. Just gonna open these up a little bit. Then we're gonna do a high moment on the other side. Always make sure your buds are off. If you accidentally break something, it's okay. All right, after these lisianthus, I think what I'm gonna go in with is the Rose Story Farm roses. I think that they'll add the depth that we're kind of craving right now. Let's add a little bit of lark. You guys, look how fun these allium balls are, just so you guys know. Look at this. Squiggly allium. So fun. This just adds just like whimsical elements, which I love. I think it's all about trial and error when you're creating a floral arrangement. And if you are new to this, it's all about practicing. And I would just suggest going to your local supermarket, picking 3 different varieties of flowers and starting. Always start with layering your base, moving up to a V, and adding and filling in. See, right now we have an interesting shape going on. We're almost done. I'm adding the Rose Story Farm roses right now, which are gonna be really amazing. It's not about just putting flowers in a vase. It's about experimenting. It's about finding yourself in the flowers. You have to remember that. This is art, and every art project is a form of self-expression. So just remember that. There's no wrong or right answer. Just keep going, keep experimenting, and that's how you're gonna find your style. That's gonna be how you find what works and what doesn't work. All right, guys, let's check this out. I'm loving her. Let's add a few more Rose Story Farm roses. And then she's ready for her new life. I always say that flowers, they're here to be a moment. And these flowers here, they're the chosen flowers. And they're stoked. They're stoked to be on your table. They're stoked to be around you, because you know what? That's what they're here to do. Make you feel away and then fade away. All right, guys, let's check it out. I love her. And this is a whimsical arrangement. Always know that there's no wrong answer when creating. You just have to find yourself and keep going. If you're looking to build an arrangement on a budget, I would really suggest looking at your supermarket or farmer's market. I go to the farmer's market every single Saturday and get amazing flowers for really reasonable prices. And if you don't have a farmer's market near you, I would just suggest going to your local supermarket and really picking out blooms that spark something within you. Someone should hire a florist for their event if they want their guests to feel a way. I feel that florists have a way of creating art with the different varieties of flowers, and that allows your guests to feel a way. I work with so many different clients that they don't even give me a lot of detail. They just show me maybe some photos that they like, but it's really what I think that they would like. And I think a lot of people aren't in tune with their creativity, and an artist can bring that out and bring that center and allow that vision to actually come to life. What I love most about my home is the feeling when you walk in the door. When you walk in the door, I feel better. My house is my sanctuary, and it's my family's sanctuary. It's a place where I can go to recharge and reset, and it's a place where I feel is mine. And I think that there's nothing more important in this world than to have a home that feels like you. We're currently in my space right now, in my garage. It's a tiny space, but what's important is to create a space that's yours, and this space is completely me. So I'm actually gonna walk you guys through creating a bridal bouquet and then a centerpiece. I really think you guys are gonna love this because I love creating, and we're gonna create together. So we're actually gonna start with larkspur. I did not process anything because I felt like it'd kind of be fun to process with you. This is larkspur. I actually got this at the farmer's market in Santa Barbara. It's just pretty. I think it adds like a textural component to the arrangement, which I love. I have ranunculus right here, which one of my hacks, you guys, this is really fun. is you get a wire and you actually poke the wire straight through the head of the ranunculus and push it all the way through the stem, clip it at the top, and now you're not gonna have a droopy ranunculus, and you can kind of bend it. It's kind of my secret, which is super fun. So we're gonna just wire a few of these. I love ranunculus. I think that they have a really big head, which just like looks good in bridal bouquets, because I feel like a lot of my brides want a flower that kind of resembles a rose, but is a little bit different than a rose. You have to remember when you're creating that you need the best tools, and Felco is the best for clippers, just so you know. All right, so I wired 3 of these ranunculus, and then I'm going to go in with my roses. Okay, so with roses, this is your standard rose. This is a Playa Blanca rose. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna reflex it. So we're gonna flip it over, blow in its face, and we're gonna peel back the petals. So what this is called is reflexing a rose. So I'm gonna show you the difference between a reflexed rose and a non-reflexed rose, and you guys are gonna love it. This is a non-reflexed rose, and this is a reflexed rose. Like, come on. So much better. There's a lot of different flowers that make a space feel grand, but I would have to say that a calla lily is an amazing flower that makes a space feel completely grand, and I actually have them right here. Calla lily. These are local. Vases make a huge difference, and the brand Camilla is one of the best vase brands that you could possibly use as a florist, and they sell wholesale and not wholesale. So if you're just a beginner florist or a novice home florist, these are what you should be buying. So these roses are really special to me because these are actually from Rose Story Farms, which is an amazing rose farm in Carpinteria, and the owner Danny grows these, and I mean, come on, you can't make up this beauty. I love using her roses because they're super fragrant, and my brides feel really special when they have these in their arrangement. All right, guys, we're almost there to start. All right, I also have to show you guys these amazing dahlias. I'm very passionate about all these local farms that I use. So this one is a local farm in Carpinteria also, and just look at these amazing dahlias. You can't grow these like this. Like if you were to buy these at the store, they're just not as big, and there's not as much of a statement. So these are just such a statement. They're a little stocky, but I like it. When you are processing dahlias, it's really important to clip off. I don't like greenery really, so that's why you'll see in a lot of my arrangements there's no greenery. So I always take off the buds and the flowers. You guys, this sweet pea like brings me life. If this doesn't bring you life, I don't know what would bring you life, because this sweet pea is like absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm gonna clip some pieces off. I'm just getting too excited now. I'm using too many ingredients, but it's okay. We'll give you guys a show. All right, guys, we're gonna start with the antique hydrangea. And when you're creating a bouquet, always start with holding the flower that you're beginning with in your non-dominant hand, so your dominant hand can place the flowers in. Okay, I actually have to look in a little mirror while I'm doing this. So here's my little handy dandy mirror. So I'm gonna place this right here so I can actually look at what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna start with the hydrangea, and then we are going to start. I like a triangular shape, so one on the right, one on the left, and building from there. As you can probably tell, I don't use a lot of greenery. I shy away from greenery. I use a lot of flowers. I do this because I feel like the flowers speak life, and greenery to me does not speak life to me personally. So that's why I always really use a lot of bloom heavy. Remember with our ranunculus, they're wired so they can kind of tilt a little bit. This sweet pea, unreal. I'm just gonna add this on the edges. One of the best tips on how to keep your flowers alive and last longer is changing the water frequently. It's so important when you have an arrangement to change the water because bacteria grows, and that bacteria will actually create a shorter life for the flowers. Also, giving them a little trim every few days will really help prolong their life. All right, I'm going in with these amazing Rose Story Farms roses. I'm actually gonna leave the greenery on a little bit because I think it adds a little bit of complexity to the arrangement, which I love. I feel like a lot of the time when my brides are asking for a bouquet, they really want a whimsical arrangement that is different than your typical white and green arrangement. So see right here how it's a triangle? I feel like this shape really looks good on anyone's body type, and I think it's really important being a designer to keep that in check. You need to be able to design for whatever shape that your client is. All right guys, we're getting to the end here. I'm gonna add a little bit of Tweedia because I love the look of this. And then at the end, I'm actually gonna add a little orchid, which just gives it a little something. All right. So whenever I go in with an orchid, it's kind of like a hanging element. And it's really important to place it in the correct place. So a huge part of the design process is actually editing. So right now I'm not loving where this rose is, and it's really important being a designer to always edit. You can always restart an arrangement and it's not a failure. It's actually beautiful and brave to restart because it shows that you care and you want to bring your actual vision to life. Okay guys. All right, let's go back to this. Okay, I'm liking the shape right now. I kind of wait to pull off all the extra leaves till the end. So right now what we're gonna do, always make sure each flower has a space, okay? So right now it's a little bit full. So just kind of move things around a little bit. Love that. And now we're gonna add a little orchid moment. These orchids are actually grown right in Carpinteria as well. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's a huge passion of mine to use local farms. So right now I'm actually gonna twist and flip the arrangement towards me. And this is where you can really see the arrangement and what it's looking like right now. Okay, so we flipped it towards ourselves, and we're gonna see what these orchids look like. Love that little orchid add. I think it adds a lot of depth. I love orchids because they're kind of I wouldn't say difficult flower, but a little difficult. They're very reactive to their environment, and if you don't take care of them, they will not last. All right guys, I'm gonna flip this around. This is our bridal bouquet. And now I'm gonna clip the ends and tie it off. And we'll be good to go. We're gonna do a blunt cut right now. What a blunt cut is just making sure the stems are all at the right height. I actually like to leave the stems shorter because I have found that the bouquet photographs better and the bride holds the bouquet correctly. So I'm gonna tie it off now. I'm gonna use some waterproof tape. This is kind of a awkward moment. It's kind of like, oh, no one's around, and here I am with my tape. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna move my thumb. I'm gonna go around a few times. Once you get that initial, it's all good. Pull it off that. And done. Now you just need to tie a ribbon and it's complete. What makes a house a home is the feeling of the house. And my house, when I walk in the door, I feel safe. This is the house that I'm raising my children in, and my family feels a sense of tranquility when they walk through the door. And that's what a house should feel like. Thanks so much for coming to my house, Homeworthy, but I've got to go. I have a flower arrangement to make for my wedding on Saturday. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.